Here we are wrapping up May of 2024. Time flies. It feels like yesterday we were just entering into this new year, and now we're almost halfway through it. June is upon us in 7.5 hours. May has been honestly not the most exciting month, but perhaps we have more spice ahead of us coming into June. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart. I have a very busy day today, so I don't know how long the stream's going to be, but stay with me, guys. If you're here, thank you for joining us on Friday. Smash that like button, subscribe, hype up the chat. I'm going to be trying to read it, but again, don't have that much time today. Got a lot to do. I supposed to be shooting a video with Altcoin Daily later, and then tomorrow at the crack of dawn, I'm flying out to Texas for the day to meet up with Bitmain right after consensus ends. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So let's get into it. Here we are, 7.5 hours, and May, man, right in this zone. Right in this zone. Looks like March has opened down at 61, brought us up to about 74 all-time high, and we've really just chilled there. May did paint a lower low versus April and March, and failed, at least for now, to hit a higher high. I would love to see that happen. Again, 7.5 hours, plenty of time for anything to happen. I have a poll going in the chat. Please give us your opinions. So here's how I view this chart and for the next 7.5 hours. If by the grace of the spice gods, we are able to rally over the next few hours and close this month out above 71.2, lock and load. Send it for June. 71.2 was our target for this month, even when May was trading down below April. We did hit it, but did not get the follow through, at least yet, that we were hoping for. Anywhere in between 71.3 and 60K, we'll call it. Pretty neutral. Really no change. We aren't at a bullish engulf, which would be the above 71.3 target, and we would not be in a red candle. Below, unless we're below 60K. So very neutral outcome there. And at the moment, I'm going to give that like a 75% probability that we close between 71.3 and 60. Now, in the off chance, Lord help us, in the off chance we close below 60K, that's going to set up June and probably into July with not such wonderful price action. This is a very kind of binary close. There's not a lot of nuance to this monthly end. Something that we should probably bring up and reminisce about. Sell in May and walk away. How do you guys feel about that? In Bitcoin, it has been a pretty successful trading strategy over the last few years. This monthly candle, I'm not getting that vibe. Maybe I'm just too bullish. Impossible. Not getting that vibe yet. Maybe we had that low under April. That's probably like the trap for sell in May and walk away. I'm not feeling it yet. On a neutral close, I would put the favor in the bulls' hands versus the bears, as we just came off a new all-time high. We haven't seen a giga candle down. We haven't seen a nuke, a doom. I'm going to keep that bias with the bulls for now, and I'm going to be watching this close. So ahead of us is June. Let's take a look at June. Now, this is Coinbase's history. I didn't go all the way back. In front of us is marked every June. As we're entering into this new month, this is the last month in Q2, a very important time, and that close is going to be even more important than May's, honestly. But let's take a look. Let's go back in time to Coinbase's Junes here. June 2015 closed a 14% green candle. Not bad. 2016, June closed a 26% candle. Really good. I wish we had that. Going into 2017, June again giving us that green candle, this time smaller, only 6.6%. The average here so far, probably about 10%, right? 10%ish for June. We have to go to 2018 to get our first red June candle on Coinbase. This was right after the blow off top, the 20,000, the number Bitcoin would never reach. It reached it. Into the bear market, we saw a red June. So far, 3 green, 1 red. Moving on into 2019, one of my most traumatic crypto experiences ever, June was the blow off top in the, we'll call it a bear market rally, or you could argue the start of the bull run. We did see price move up to about 14K before March 2020 came around, knocked all markets down on their butts. That candle closed 25.8%. So far, just the post all-time high June red in our history on Coinbase. After March of 2020, we had June. June closed, honestly, this is just like a sideways candle. This isn't, it's technically red, so we'll say add one to the red tally, but closing 0.3% down, 3% down for the entire month. That's virtually just a neutral candle. In my opinion, I would say nothing. I wouldn't say this was green or red, but it's up to the viewer to decide. So fast forwarding, getting closer to our current state, 2021, after what was arguably the all-time high, or the bull market all-time high, we had a very small red June candle of 6% before rallying again into the end of 21. What's interesting so far to me and catches my eye is the only real red candles that we see on this chart are directly after the next June, the June immediately after some kind of all-time high. Happened in 2018, happened in 21, and then going on into 22, same thing, new all-time high. June brought us, what, negative 37%. That was a crazy June. If you're feeling some negative vibes today, thinking about rolling into June, it's probably because of this candle. That's savage, 37%. Into the bull market June last year, closing 12%. So what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3 in Coinbase's history. Each came after, we'll call it kind of a cycle high. We're at an all-time high in March. You could argue that, well, that's the same setup. I can't really counteract that, but I think that might be a little too soon to jump to. So in Coinbase's history, or going back to 2015, we have 1, 2, 3 green, 1 red, 4 green. We'll call it 2 red, 4 green, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red. 5 green, 4 red? Pretty even in Coinbase's history, but I think the nuance there is this is kind of post bull market high. If we get more specific, and we're gonna have less examples, less sample size, so this is gonna be less confident, of course, we can say June during election years. So the next month will be a June in election year. And of course, this happens every 4 years. So not here, not here, not here, back here. Is it 2020? Yeah, 2020. Red. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green. In election year, we have 1 and 1. Kind of a split book here. Overall, I think that Junes have favored the green, which fingers crossed means we're going to get a green June. I just thought this was an interesting perspective to share with you guys as we're wrapping up May, heading into June. I think that's about all the value here. June does have a slight bias just statistically towards green. And I believe if you go further back, if you go to the BLX chart before Coinbase was trading, I do believe that actually gets more weighted green, and specifically election year June's even more green. So there's that. A little bit of info for you. That's what we do here. Unbiased, no FOMO, no FUD, just rational, calm, not sexy content. Let's go. Okay, so going back into June here, assuming we close roughly where we think we are, we may then have an immediate downside target in June of 60.6K. Just as May opened, down from April, we targeted up towards 71.3. If May closes under 71.3, or even where it is now, likely 60.6 will be seen in June. Now, I'd love to be wrong about that, but this is just a really simple brain dead way that I have found trading these higher time frames works. Almost every candle tends to revisit the previous candle if they are an opposing color or direction. So definitely some weight down there. Guys, please, if you could, smash the likes and subscribe, share out the stream, join the Discord. Shout out to our sponsors, Lux Algo and Meta Signals. They are the best in the business. Lux Algo bringing you hundreds of free indicators and some premium ones. Meta Signals, we're going to take a look at a few of those signals. Best in the business at algorithmic signaling for trading. We'll take a look at some of those trade setups here in just a minute, as well as if you join our Discord, you will find we're getting some of those signals piped in there for free, so you can check it out. Both of those have a risk-free trial that you can sign up for. Highly encourage it. There we go. Shills out of the way. We're going to drop down to the week and check this out. Whoa, a lot of TA here. A lot of lines. Where did that come from, actually? Here. Let me hide a little bit of this, get it a little cleaner. There we are. Down on the weekly, not the most stellar week, putting in a lower high here, at least in Friday. Today we did have, was it 6 billion in options expirations? That's definitely not my wheelhouse. Not really a TradFi guy, but doesn't seem to be moving price much, right? Someone asked about that in the last stream. What about the options expirations? Doesn't seem to have that huge of an impact. At the end of every month on Friday, we have these big expirations, and rarely do we actually see price coincide. It really doesn't bring volatility often. This weekly, with 2 days and 8 hours to go, 66.2 is going to be that number to hold for the bulls, and 68.5 going to be the number for the bears to defend here. Closing somewhere inside this candle is going to be roughly like the monthly close, very neutral. If it can pick up and close above 68.4 into the weekend, we might see some spiciness. Now, here's something to consider. Traditional markets are done trading for May in a few hours. Bitcoin will go on and it will continue to trade into the weekend. Now, the implications there for ETFs, settlement, etc., I would love to take your opinions. Let me know what you think. They may have an impact on price action. However, there's something that changed here, and we're gonna have to go down to the day. There's something that changed, not just for Bitcoin, but for markets all over the US. Let me see what day that was. Right here, May 28th. Whether you're aware of this or not, this is why you tune in, get some alpha. On the 28th of May, so just 3 days ago, the US transitioned from a T2 settlement, I believe, back to a T1 settlement. I think they did that a long time ago. I don't know why they went to T2. I don't understand it. But they changed to T1 settlement. So why does this matter to Bitcoin? How is it important to you? Easy explanation. While it sounds complicated, T2 simply meant that ETFs and some other investment vehicles had 2 days to settle their transactions, meaning BlackRock, if their clients bought Bitcoin, they had 2 days to buy or sell that Bitcoin to settle up. Now, as of May 28th, the US has transitioned to T1, meaning ETFs and the like must settle within 1 day. Now, I don't know what kind of impacts that's going to have on the Bitcoin ETF, but it is an interesting thing that definitely changed and definitely will have far-reaching consequences for a lot of markets. I don't know if it's bullish. I don't know if it's bearish. What do you guys think? Please let me know, because I had no idea. But that happened 3 days ago, so we've had 3 days of 1 day settlement. It seems like the US really lagging behind crypto here. They're like flexing about a transaction taking only 24 hours. Good job. Yay, good for you. You guys are real special. Your moms are proud. Let's get down to the day. We haven't seen too much price action change, but that might just be ramping up for June. We'll find out. Looking at just our simple trend lines, let's connect some dots here. Today's candle, a little disappointing. We do have plenty of time for this to correct itself, but hanging out potentially on the downside of our upward trend here. That could signal a trend break, which would then probably set our sights down at some of those support levels we talked about on Wednesday, and maybe into June 60.6. We'll find out. Lots of sideways price action here, and this does break the pattern a little bit versus the last week. While we have not broken our low of the 23rd at 66.2, we are kind of diverging from this sideways, very tight, low volatility price action. Likely, if you take a look at Bollinger Bands, you're going to see them constricting. You're going to see any measurement of volatility for Bitcoin likely moving down. And that, while it might not feel good, is the precursor to big, volatile, explosive moves. So, seatbelts on, boys. Seatbelts, get them on. Market Cipher being no changes. Man, there's just no change. This is what drives me nuts as a crypto content creator. You guys tune in, and thank you so much for being here. I know not a lot's going on. We're going to get into some altcoin charts and stuff in just a minute. I'm almost done with Bitcoin, I promise. But what do I say? I come on, there's hundreds of viewers. What do I say? They say, Tom, I need an edge. Is it going up or down? What am I, where am I supposed to look? I can flip a coin. I usually just remain bullish and say, it's going to go up eventually. That's my easy cop-out answer. But we're not going to get like signals here. Unless we see a big move to the downside or a big move to the upside, then we can look for divergence. We can look for all kinds of different signals. We can look for key levels being tested, holding, breaking. But when we just trade sideways, there's really not a lot to say. Not a lot. Let me go down to the 12-hour. Let me go down here. See what this looks like. Checking this out. Kind of ugly. Lower highs on the 12. Does look like we're trying to target that mid-May low. Little order block is open down here. Order block, fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. These terms are irrelevant, just so you know what you're talking about. 65.2 down here. Not a bad spot to look. If we see especially like a wick move, that could be a good spot for a bounce. Looking just at the structure here, the neckline, a little hard to identify. We could say this is the neckline, and I think that would be fair. If we are looking at an inverse head and shoulders, the neckline may be being tested here again, which is not a comfortable position to be in. Remember, every time support is tested or resistance, it weakens, and the next test becomes more probable to see a break. I think more fairly down here, I don't know if fair is the word, more accurately, it's just not perfect. I think this is the neckline, 64.6. If we do see a drop, that's a little bit under 65.2. 64.6. If we do see a drop, that is not a bad spot to be looking. Back testing that neckline finally, and then making that move to a new all-time high would be very, very tradey, very charty. All right. I wish I had more for you on the corn. I've been watching it. The short-term price action, getting down on those hourly candles, zooming into the 5-minute candles. You're just going to see noise. This is all just noise. It's not going to give you a direction. Even if it breaks this low, it doesn't mean it can't just go up and break the high, then remain sideways again. Very little going on with the corn. So that wraps up the corn. A few things I wanted to look at here. Bitcoin dominance showing its first signs of weakness today. Arguably, we could say it showed the first sign on the 23rd. Interesting. I believe the 23rd lines up with that swing low. Let me go back. Did I just say 23rd? Boom. 23rd lines up with that swing low we just looked at. We broke our ascending trend line. Now, I could re-put this. I could reline this up, make sure it's more perfect. Doesn't really matter. It's not really important. What is important is this distinct and obvious trend of Bitcoin dominance, painting virtually only higher highs and higher lows, moving up, putting pretty much downside pressure on alts, is showing some weakness here. And while that might not feel good at the moment, for me, might not feel good, and honestly doesn't match up with what we've seen since this has trended up very strongly since the start of 23, since the bull market started. Losing this trend is not ideal. However, we've talked about it many times, and just to rehash for anyone tuning in, typically, and when I say typically, I mean every single example, every single sample we have of this, pending the one we're looking at, we have seen Bitcoin dominance rally in a bear market and drop in a bull market. So for dominance to be showing some weakness here, it's a confusing signal. That may be that suggestion that we're returning to what we've seen in the prior cycles with dominance, that we're going to see a drop, altcoins will go crazy and we'll go full bull. Or we could even argue, since we have seen Bitcoin rally with dominance this entire rally, or this entire run since 23, that might be a bearish signal. Let's take a look at the monthly, which I actually haven't done, so hopefully there's something here to look at. Kind of. Dominance almost back tested April's open, almost went in, cleared that out. Not quite. That could happen today, honestly. That could happen today. Almost either way you look at it, this doesn't look very strong. If you look at the previous runs, it was mostly big expansive moves to the upside. or the previous run. Big expansive moves to the upside. Not a lot going on here. This is kind of looking like it's losing momentum, and fingers crossed that means we're going to see that full bull soon. All right, let me see. Metasignals.io. Metasignals. I just pulled some random signals that were fired off today by their algorithm, placed them on the chart. Here is ARB. ARB. I know no one's been talking about ARB lately, but this signal looked for a long position at 114.7 with a stop below 111.5. And in this hour, we actually have moved below that stop. I placed this before we started the live. We have moved below the stop. However, these signals are usually based on a close, a candle close, as noted by the time frame 1 hour below 111. That has not happened yet. Take profit sitting at 117, 123, and 131 for basically a 1-to-1, 2.6-to-1, and 5.6-to-1. So I'm gonna place some alerts here. If any of these go off while we're on the stream, great. If not, we'll check back in on a Monday. Let's jump to something else. Sign up with MetaSignals. Use my link. You'll get a free 14-day trial. Links in the video description below and in the live chat. Turbo, getting into the coins. What's up, chat? Brian Bren, Strump, coin Super Trump. So now there's Trump and Super Trump. I mean, obviously Super Trump is better because same thing but better. But can't send super chats to Video Kingdom. Is anything wrong? Shouldn't be. Let me see. Can I super chat myself? I've actually never tried that. I'm gonna super chat myself. Let's see what happens. Kind of weird if you can super chat yourself, right? Your message has been delivered. Maybe it's on your end, my friend. I don't know. Did that go through? Yeah, there you go. Can everybody just like my super chat to myself? That'd be great. And like the stream while you're at it. I got a heart from myself. Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate you though, Video Kingdom. Let's look at Turbo. You see doll hair? That's right. Looking at Turbo, one of the greatest calls we've made in a while. There's been a few. Good calls have been very rare lately, not just for me, for the whole space. Turbo tested its all-time high last week. We were watching it. We said it either rejects here, moves back to previous support at like 0012, or it's setting up for a potential 10x. At this point, the 10x seems to be the path it's chosen. But I want to warn you guys, we are not quite out of the woods with this. We're not quite in let's go 10x territory yet. But we might be getting closer here with with today's close. We were looking at 1 cent for Turbo. Why? Not because it's on the chart, but because it's a psychological level. When we enter price discovery, we look for these levels to essentially act as pit stops or breaks for rallies. And we see them retrace a little bit, profit takers come in, etc. It didn't actually hit 1 cent, at least on BitGet. I should check other exchanges. It hit 0.0987. So we were 1.3% off. Very close. On the test of almost 1 cent, we saw Turbo move back down to 0.55 and now looking to close a bullish engulf on the day. Man, congrats to people holding Turbo. I don't have any. I don't even know what it is. I just know just like the chart. Chart was good. That's what we do. The monthly, pretty much out of danger here. Of course, anything can happen in crypto, but out of danger of really any kind of damaging close. Almost no matter what happens, we're going to see this close above 0.0413. That was the previous all-time high. What I might be looking for, however, if Turbo fails to break that 1 cent mark, I'm going to lean back on what we were saying earlier. Looking for a back test of that previous all-time high at 0.0413. Hasn't come, doesn't really look like it wants to at this point, but you can see we had this trade set up, this kind of a blueprint of price action, and it didn't make it to the downside target yet. However, it has not broken its high, and so we don't have that moving on up yet signal. I think Turbo does look great. I still believe the right move, the smart move, if you want to trade this, is to look for that back test of all-time high. That could happen this week. It could happen early June, or it could happen at the end, right? At the end of the bull run, whenever that is, when everything comes back down, that may be where it bottoms out again. I've made this trade on coins after they've done a full cycle, and a lot of them have actually played out pretty well. A lot of them. Turbo looking good, fam. Let's look at Ethereum for a little bit. Ethereum failing to excite at the moment. Failing to excite with price action, but looking better than it was. Last time we looked at Ethereum, we were watching this descending parallel channel and saying, it's got to stop sometime. We're going to see that retrace back to the upside, likely 3,900, 4,000. And while we haven't gotten anything exciting, Ethereum has changed its tune visibly on the chart here. Instead of lower highs and lower lows, yesterday, after hitting 3,700, has put in its first low time frame higher high. It held the low, it broke a higher high, potentially holding the low again here. So it is giving us an uptrending signal. Waiting for that breakout. Got the first little inklings of an uptrend. Weekly doesn't really seem like it's in any trouble. It honestly could have moved lower, maybe in 3,650. Hasn't gone there. We do have a higher high versus last week, with almost 2.5 days to go. Kind of an uneventful close. Ethereum ETF approved, one of the biggest daily candles in Ethereum's history, and now we'll just call this a sideways candle. It's not even red. It's 1.8% at this point. The interesting thought is, if that was Bitcoin, if Bitcoin had done a 20% red candle or green candle in a day, it would have moved like all the way back down by now. Ethereum seems to be holding this high, and I think that is a bullish signal. And I don't think you really need a chart to tell you betting against Ethereum is not a great choice right now. Nobody knows how this ETF is going to go. Of course, we could have Grayscale, we could have the GETH or whatever it is selling into or selling to our ETFs, just as we saw with the Bitcoin ETF open that suppressed price for a while, but that didn't last long. That did not keep price down. And things are just dandy. The monthly looking very nice here. Better than Bitcoin. Looking at just this, we can infer that FBTC is going to close a green month. Ethereum is above its previous month open, while Bitcoin is not. All it needs to do is hold 3,650, just what I was looking at on the week. It has reached 3,700, and that was very close. But over the next 7 hours, Ethereum just hold on to 3,650. And I think June is going to bring you up to 4,600. This is the last monthly, the last major resistance Ethereum has. And with the bullish engulf close, while it might not be instantly into June, likely it's going to be looking for higher highs. That's the only place to look. There's really nowhere else that makes sense. Ethereum, rooting for you, babe. Rooting for you. NVIDIA seeing its first selling. Its first selling. How do you guys feel about NVIDIA? What do you think, Pickle? Oh no, Y2K. Kunal, what's up? F has made weekly lower high. True. And technically, it's a lower high on the monthly at the moment. Technically. Still bullish engulf, though. I mean, you say lower high, but no. Dude, it made a higher high versus last week. No, it has not broken March's high. That's a higher high versus last week. Anyway, what do you guys think about NVIDIA? Do you care about NVIDIA? It is seeing its first pullback since it rocketed from 950 all the way up to 1,150. Honestly, though, on low time frames, just looking to fill these gaps. That's right, some gaps. What's up, expandable youth? NVIDIA sounds like a STD that robots catch. It is. Stay safe. Practice safe cybering. Let me see. Dog is the play, says Crypto Holder. I bought some dog. I don't know if it's. We'll pull that chart up. I have it up. We'll see it. Price is making you cry. Don't cry, baby. It's okay. Team Red AMD. I also have AMD pulled up, so we can look at that. Oh no, I have AMC pulled up. Whew, too many tickers, dude. To me, NVIDIA really just looks like it's coming back for that gap. 1,066. It didn't quite reach it yet. It hit 1,069. Nice. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the gap fill, right? coming on down. It does have another gap, however, on the day at 950. Does that one get filled? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Let's look at this monthly candle just because I miss these giant months, giant green months. Beautiful. NVIDIA looking to close 25% up, which is interesting. That's not really that much more than, say, Ethereum. I think Ethereum's at like 20-something%. Yet NVIDIA's getting all the attention. Eyes on Bitcoin, please. Small breakout. We just spent like the whole stream looking at it. I don't know if that's a breakout. I mean, it green candles went up a little bit. It's up 0.96%. All right, I will go back to Bitcoin. We already did like 20 minutes on it. I'll go back to Bitcoin if it breaks 67.6 right now, or if it breaks its low of the day. We'll go back to it. NVIDIA, I don't really have anything else to say about it. I just thought it was interesting. Traditional markets close in 3 hours at this point. I think more up. Honestly, I think there's more up for NVIDIA. What about SHIB? SHIB not doing anything, but also not bad. Coming off that high from 2 days ago, potentially still holding its low. Not a lot of change on the SHIB. What about FLOKI? Very similar setup. Kind of that stair stepping up, your move to resistance, and now coming back to test that previous resistance that was holding price down as support. No update on the PEPE. Chiliz. You know, look at Chiliz. We looked at this on Wednesday, I think. Wednesday or Monday. It was looking pretty good. See if that's changed here. Setting a higher high. Got a lot of room to the downside to find support. Monthly, here we go. Chiliz did trade above 14.9. Did trade into a bullish engulf. It did put a higher high versus April. However, it seems like into the end here, it's getting pushed back down. Not ideal, but I'll just say a neutral-ish close at this price level. In 7 hours, if it can close above 15 cents, let's see Chiliz move to 23, 28 cents into June is very on the table, or likely in my opinion. Probable is probable. Doge, there it is. Somebody was asking for Doge. I did buy some Doge, but guys, I don't shill my bags to you. I don't want you to buy just because I did. I didn't like go all in, man. I just picked up a little, a little bag. I'm looking for 1 cent on Dog. Sadly, the price is back to where we first looked at it, it seems. Or was it a little lower? It was a little lower. I think it was 2 days ago. Close to where it was. There's not a lot of TA that you can do on this at all. You only have a few days of trading. So just to rehash what we've done here, we marked out our previous all-time high, 0.0057. We used our Fibonacci extension and retracement tool, connected that to our low in mid-May. And since we broke that all-time high, we get our 1618 and 2 measured move targets. So those sit at roughly a penny and 1.8 cents. Now, by no means is this as high as it can go. It also doesn't guarantee that it gets there, but we have pretty good confidence on this channel through 5 years of streaming these charts live that when they break all-time highs, as long as they don't reject basically that day, you tend to see these move to at least the 1618 level. I think a penny is still a good bet. However, I don't think entering right now, especially on leverage, maybe spot, but I don't think entering right now on leverage is a good idea. Again, similar to whatever it was we were just looking at. What was that? Turbo. Similar to Turbo. I'm looking for the same move. Move to the 1618, fall back down to that previous all-time high, and that could be the solid entry. That could be the entry to target that 1.8 cents. If we see Doge kind of go nuts over the weekend or into June's open, whatever, blast past the 1618 and hit that 2 measured move, I'll be taking some profit and I'll be looking to re-enter at the 1618. This is a very common breakout pattern, especially for kind of no perps, lower lower liquidity market caps. We see this move a lot where they ignore the 1618, they move right to the 2 measured move, they retrace to the 1618, making a perfect bounce, and then look for higher highs. This is what I'm hoping to see, obviously, because I bought some spot. I want it to go up, but I am definitely entertaining the idea that we see 0057 first. What do you guys think? 1 cent or 0057 first? Mid to long term, what, Chris Lai? Bitcoin's trying to recover from a morning sell-off. It is. What's up, Omar? Jasmy? Yeah, look at Jasmy next. I have it pulled up. 1 cent? Up or down, dog? Yay or nay? What do you think? Your opinion matters to me. What's up, digital asset? 𝐂𝐴's popular meme, bro, rip. I don't even know what you're talking about. Up. Just a user says up. I guess we'll go with up. Hype, not so hypey today, guys. That's all right. I appreciate you being here. Even if you're not paying attention to me, even if you're just chatting, I still appreciate you being here. Would really appreciate if you could just double check, make sure you've liked this stream. If you're not subscribed, subscribe so I can shout you out. We've only had like a few. For instance, Braun Drama subscribed. What's up, Braun Drama? Appreciate you. Joey Neo Wandy also subscribed. Venom Hex. Ah, dude. So I think the super chats are working, but I don't think they're alerting. Venom Hex renewed the membership 15 months in a row. Good for you, my friend. I love that I always see your name every time I pull up that participants list. Also, Deacon Backer subscribed before the stream started. Kudos. Cheers to you guys. We'll go to Jasmy. Jasmy? That's fit. Let's go to Jasmy. Jasmine. The only 2 coins I bought in the last month, and again, when I say bought, I pick up like $100, a few $100, less than 1% of my portfolio. I'm not going all in on any of these. Like, it's not how I roll. I did pick up Jasmy and Dog over the last like month. Jasmy doing good. Dog, I think, is like pretty close to where I got it. I don't know. Our trade on Jasmy from 1.8 cents looking pretty damn good now to 3.4, 3.5 cents. This is going to be, what's up, Cash Oak? I see you, bro. I see you. We're looking at the Jasmy. 3.5 cents. I would like to see this honestly hit in May. However, if we hit this in May, in the next 6 hours, likely we're going to see some retracement, some downside, at least into the open of June. That might present an opportunity for an entry at 2.1 cents. That resistance from March and April that sold off tested the bottom of our monthly order block. That was the entry. That was the entry, and now the take profit target, the top of the order block right here. The good news for Jasmy, if a miracle happens and it can blast through 3.5 cents today, there's not a lot in the way for it. The one thing that does catch my eye, or is on my radar, is up here at 5 cents. This is your wick high from March 22. It's in the order block. It is a psychological number, 5 cents, just like 1 cent or 10 cents. People take profit at these more consistently than random decimals because we're monkey brains still. When it comes to numbers, humans are still we're monkey brains. I could see that potentially having a little impact on the chart. That's why I placed this short up here. It seems like weeks ago. I don't even remember anymore. But if it can get past 5 cents, you have very little in the way back to your all-time high. We're looking for that 4,700 on Ethereum because that's its highest monthly resistance. Jasmy has one above it directly. That's my take profit target for this trade. But after that, you might see it move to 16 cents. Now, I doubt that this will happen without the rest of the market exploding, without some very nice green candles in crypto in June. But crazier things have happened, fam. From 5 cents to 16 is a 3x. It's all-time high, at least on Coinbase. I don't know if it's ever. 35 cents. There's not a lot in the way. That's what's getting me kind of excited about a lot of these charts. They don't have much above them, and usually that wouldn't be enough, but seeing many other coins making these moves builds my confidence that others are going to follow. Hopefully Jasmy is one of them. That's all I can say in my honesty, in my true, genuine opinion. I think this is looking good still. Staying high above its 20 weekly. Let's see. Market Cipher B. You got green money flow on the week here after, the last 2 weeks. VWAP's up. Momentum's up. You couldn't really ask for more. Market Cipher B could not really give you more on that. What about 𝐂𝐴LGO? Wrong one. 𝐂𝐴LGO has so many indicators, man. They are just a beast of a company. Like, absolute beast. I like signals and overlays because it looks good on the chart. It looks good on the stream. Clearly, it's been bullish for a while. Let's look for that monthly flip before we move on. Nope. No monthly flip yet. Probably going to take 16 cents to get there. Oh, well. Okay, JASMY, done. Good luck, Jasmine. I don't even remember how much they bought. Certainly not a lot. Let's see. Beam was moving earlier, but I think that rally got slapped back to reality. Let's take a look. Yes, it did. Beam made a pretty large move just earlier this morning, 45-50% in an hourly candle. However, profit takers, whatever you want to call it, came in, slapped that right back to reality, back to 2.8 cents. Does actually kind of seem like it's holding. It does seem as if support is going to hold at least into this weekend. Let's see. 786 retracement, not the best. Not a great sign for more upwards action. 3.22 cents. That's on the 4 hour. Yeah, it's still a good target. 3.22 cents. If you're looking for a long on this, I don't hate it. If you're looking for a long on this, you might be able to take it from 2.8 cents. Get another test of that. Stop's going to be rough, but that take profit target is very, very simple. Right back to your local resistance. Actually, I could see this trade playing out pretty well. Target 3.2 cents on Beam. Good luck. Oh, one more. Not that. We looked at CRV. Did I show you ETC? ETC. This is another one of the meta signals I took earlier, and I took a bad one. Well, not a bad one. Here's the thing, guys. Meta signals has a lot of great data. The algorithm is really good at what it does. But just like everything, it's not a free money machine. There is no such thing. There is no, it's going to win every time, right? We know that as traders. I put this out here earlier today. We did get the stop lower. So this trade's bonk. An example, here you go. I'm not trying to sell you snake oil. This is a tool that I think advanced traders will find value in simply because it's going to be able to scan all these pairs. It's going to look at what's going on and it's going to tip you off. When it tips you off, it doesn't mean put all your money on this, you're guaranteed to win. It means take a look at this. Use your skills, your analysis. Does this make sense to you? And is this a good trade? And that is up to you as a trader to interpret and hopefully find success with. I think they're a great company. Eric Crown and Crypto Zombie back them. Great names in the space. And now your boy Tom Crown jumping in on that. Yes. So shout out to them. Shout it out. What else can we look at today? Looked at a bunch. Let me see what alerts we got. AMC. AMC looks like crap. Turbo, dollar, SHIB. Let's see. Actually, let's look at our majors. We're going to look at our major charts here. Let's look at the Dixie. We'll look at gold on the month. We're not going to do in depth on here. We're just going to look at their monthlies. Coming to an end in just a few hours. Let's see. The dollar flirting with a bearish engulf on the month. Last time it closed a bearish engulf in the month was November of 23. Before that, you got to go back really far. Arguably November of 2020. Weird. Dollar does not seem to bearish engulf on the month often. It did trade there intra-month this month, but now it seems like some buyers coming in to defend that 104.5. With five plus hours to go on the dollar's close for the month, anything could happen. Watch for a close below 104.5. That's likely going to signal strength for stocks, crypto, equities, whatever, into June. If it doesn't, I'd still say that's pretty bearish at a lower high on the month, but more neutral signal. Almost no chance of it closing a green candle here. Not for May. Go over to gold quick. What's up, Ellie? Eliaster? Bird dog on Solana. And if it's on TradingView, I'll look at it. I'm not going to go dig an index screener and stuff, though. Sorry, my friend. It's Friday. You should not have high expectations for me. It's Friday. Let's take a look at gold on the month. Gold hit new all-time highs this month, exactly as we had predicted. God, I hate when people say that. However, selling back off, starting to look a lot like April. A lot like April. Hitting that higher high. Intra-month, coming down, settling somewhere in the green. Bullish close, I'll say. I'll say that's bullish. Obviously would have been more bullish with less of a top wick. But I don't know why you'd bet against gold, honestly. Seems like the only thing I want to bet against is the dollar right now. If something crazy happens with gold, or even if we see June open and there's some bloodbath, maybe the dollar rallies into May close or rallies into June open, gold takes a little dumper, there may be an entry around that 2070 mark or our previous resistance that held forever. That would probably be a solid entry for a gold position, but man, I don't know. I don't know why you'd bet against it. I don't know what kind of logic would be in that, at least for me. I don't know, man. Seems like gold is going to be like more in demand over the next, I don't know, 5 years. Something like that. Gold. We looked at Bitcoin, the ETC. Oh, by the way, ETC also may be related. Actually, I don't know what it'd be related to considering is going down. Fun fact then, that probably none of you care about, but you guys know I'm a crypto nerd. I believe Ethereum Classic just underwent its halving. So if it's anything like anything like Litecoin, I don't know what else even has halvings anymore. It's like rare in the crypto space. If it's anything like Litecoin, probably going to see a sell-off for a while. The bullish things in crypto tend to just never play out that way. Maybe look for a bounce of 2864. I don't know. I'm not trading Ethereum. ETC. Ethereum Classic. I'm not trading it. GME, really quick, 1750. I won't BS you. It didn't quite fill. It hit like 1760. Didn't hit 1753. That was where we were looking to go long. More bullish price action than I expected when I placed that trade, honestly. I kind of thought it would just nuke down and paint that Eiffel Tower, but it does seem like there's still buyers. There's still people aping. Good luck, apes. When you're ready, Bitcoin will welcome you. Just so you know, apes out there. We welcome you. This is the home you're looking for. I don't really know if there's much else going on. I don't know if there's a lot of good charts. Let me see that bird dog or whatever. I highly doubt there's a chart for it, but we'll try. We'll give it the old college try. Yeah, maybe there is. Bird dog. This is on Ethereum. You sit on Sol. Don't think we have it for Ethereum. Ooh, I almost closed the stream. On Sol, near. We only got it on the BNBs and ETHs. And I have a feeling that's not the same chart. Yeah. Yeah. Moggy signed up for membership at the beginning. I didn't even see that. Ooh, I get to send a free highlighted message. Happy Friday, fam. There we go. I have a feeling everyone in here is already in the Discord, but you should join it if you haven't. Shout out to all the people who've been talking in there. Duck, Silent, Tillin, Steve, Josh. You guys keep that chat just hype as hell 24/7. And I love it, man. If you want a place to just come nerd out about crypto at any time of the day, holiday, weekend, morning hours, doesn't matter. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Party just never stops there. You guys are wild. I wake up every morning and just kind of like smack my head when I read what you guys are talking about. All right. Bitcoin looking to maybe make a little reversal. Doing something here. What time is it? 122. All right. Making a little reversal here. I like that hourly close. Maybe that's what that person was talking about. Nice little doji close here. If this was inverted, I would call that a spinning top. 1 hour giving us some kind of reversal sign. I don't think candlestick patterns are really the best way to trade Bitcoin, but is what it is. Still have my doubts at 67.5. Got to get back into the trend here. Okay. Back into the trend. Bitcoin really could trade as high as 86.1 and not have done anything. Just basically fall in the 4 hour, you find a low, provided you don't reject. This would be the biggest signal. The biggest signal here is not even that price number. It would be the 4 hour closing back above 67.6, back into the trend after losing it. That could be a fake break. That would be more important to me than any other number that I might go to the upside here. Yeah, without blasting off into space. Man. This is some sideways. This is some real sideways. At least it held the higher low versus May 24th so far. You know, I had this other stuff to look at and I totally forgot. Talking about options. Expirations for tomorrow, June 1st. Max Pain sits at 68K. Not really that exciting. That's where we are. By the end of July, it looks like that drops down to 64,000 max pain. But the farther out these expirations are, the more that they're almost guaranteed to change by the time that comes. August 30th, kind of spicy with the 70,000 max pain. I like that. When you get farther out, it's like gibberish. Like September 24, 50K, December 60K, 70K, March 25. When you get really far out, there's just very low volume on them. They're kind of meaningless. Let's see, Bitcoin ETF inflows, outflows, still on the positive. Net inflows for the ETFs. Looks like May 10th was the last negative or outflow day. Those ETFs continue to gobble up price as it slowly inches back to its all-time high. Liquidation heat map. Let's take a peek at this. What happened here? Oh, this is where we're at. The biggest, most dense cluster of liquidations for Bitcoin right now sits at 72.3. $1,000 above the bullish engulf target for May. 5.5 billion in longs looking to liquidate there. Of course, you have many levels of some big liquidations below us as well. Let's zoom this in. Oh, that got very ugly. That got very ugly. Plenty of liquidations below us as well, but the densest cluster up at 5.5. I got to close that. My computer's having a stroke. Funding is neutral. We don't have any edge via our perp swap funding. Even, right, this looks like across the board, 0-1 or neutral funding, meaning that perp price is in alignment with spot. No signal there, no edge. Liquidation heat map, or liquidation map here, shows a little bit different story over the last 30 days. More liquidations to the downside, 3.6 billion versus 2.5 billion to the upside. And what is a little bit alarming here, let's zoom in on this. It's a little bit alarming. As you can see that since we've dropped a little, we haven't had that many shorts kind of come in. I got to make this thing is a nightmare to zoom in on. We haven't had a lot of shorts kind of jump into the fall down, and we see kind of a dense cluster of long liquidations down to about 63.2. There is that big spike up there at 72,000 that we just looked at. Which one is going to win the battle? I don't know, man. We'll find out. We'll find out. But you know what I won't find out? Pretty much anything tomorrow. I'll be in Texas to catch what is the already over consensus. Meeting up with Bitmain to talk some shop. Should be a good chat. Be back on Monday, but I will warn you guys, Monday, I'm going to do my best to go live, but I have a very minor surgery on Monday. Very, very minor. In office, no anesthesia or anything. You can look up what a lipoma is. I'm getting one removed. So we'll see how goofy I feel. Hopefully I'm fine and we can stream. I don't know. Maybe I'll get on a little goofy and talk to you guys. We'll find out. What you should do is make sure you're subscribed and in the Discord, then sign up with a partner in the video description below. Doesn't matter which one, and you will get our VIP access to our trading rooms and everything in the Discord. It's a good deal. You've got nothing to lose. You're using these things anyway. That is going to be it for me today, guys. Love you. Thank you for hanging out. Sorry to get to chat that much. I wanted to make this brief, and I just am going to make it under an hour if I close it now. So love you guys. Happy weekend. Have a good time. I'll be posting on Twitter. I'll be posting in the Discord pictures from Texas and anything cool that I come across. And that's about it. Till next time, my friends. I love you all. I hope you do have the best of weekends.